Following breaking news tonight on one of the hottest races in the country, and it's right here in our area, the governor's race in Virginia. Ralph Northam is the winner, and we've got some updated numbers to show you here with 99% of the precincts reporting Northam winning the election with 54% of the vote, 1.4 million votes, ahead of Ed Gillespie with 45% of the vote, coming in at a little more than 1.1 million votes.
Okay, well, you've read that script. That sounds good. We're going to get right to Peggy Fox, who has been covering this the whole night.
I tell you what, guys, this was not close, right? That's a 9-point margin. I mean, nobody expected that. It was a decisive Democratic sweep for the Democrats in Virginia. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and Attorney General. Mark Herring winning re-election, Justin Fairfax winning Lieutenant Governor. You know, and in off-ticket races like this, off-year races, usually it's the Republicans who come out strong. And also we had the rain, but people came out big time. We had record numbers of people at the polls. I was out at the polls in Fairfax County. I was in Burke and I was in Falls Church. And I tell you what, I asked people, why are you here? Why are you voting? Does President Trump have anything to do with it? And guess what? They all said yes. This is an anti-Trump vote. One voter told me, and about 10 different people, all different colors and races, told me, I'm here because I don't like what's going on in the White House. I'm here to take a stand. So was this a backlash against President Trump? That's how the winners here tonight see it. Ralph Northam, a pediatric neurologist, he took this very stage. Now it's getting all cleaned up now, but about an hour ago, he took the stage and he said, you know, this state needs a doctor to bind the wounds from all this divisiveness. I mean, you saw the commercials, right? They seem to really get into the gutter with those MS-13 ads and all of that. And he says, this state needs a doctor to bind the wounds. He told the crowd here, the doctor is in and he'll be on call for the next 4 years. Here's what else he said.
As I travel around the Commonwealth, I listen to a lot of folks, and what I hear is, number one, Virginians want a job that they can support themselves and their families with. They want to make sure that their children have access to a world-class education. They want to make sure that all of us as Virginians have access to affordable and quality health care. They want to make sure that we live in environments where the air and water are clean. They want to live in communities that are safe, where there are not guns on every street corner. And finally, something that I am so proud of, and I remind you all the time, we live in a very diverse society. It is getting more diverse every day. It is that diverse society that makes this country great. And as long as I'm governor, I will make sure that we're inclusive, that we welcome people to the Commonwealth of Virginia. Our lights will be on, our doors will be open. So tomorrow, my fellow Virginians, the hard work of governing begins. Let's get to work. May God bless all of you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you all.
After last year's demoralizing loss, the Democrats are ecstatic over this win, and in Virginia, they are picking up 14 seats in the House of Delegates, and Democratic leaders here say that is a record gain. So very exciting night here for the Democrats, bigger numbers than they thought. Nobody really wanted to take a stand out there for sure because the polls were all over the place, really. And I tell you what, though, this was something very interesting. I've never seen this in covering the last 4 gubernatorial elections. The race was over by 7:30. 7:30, we saw Northam start to get ahead of Gillespie even before Fairfax County was in. Fairfax County is like the elephant in the room, the biggest county in the state, also very blue. And the fact that Northam was already beating Gillespie at that point was very telling. And then when Loudoun County went to Northam, it was all over and the race was called. Guys.
This was a decisive win, Peggy. You just talked about Loudoun County, where he won by 20 points, 20-point advantage in his home turf of Norfolk. 7 in 10 voters in the D.C. suburbs. There were questions about how this was going to shake out because it appeared to be neck and neck, but he really took off when voters got in there and made their decision today.
You know, I think the negative ads from the Gillespie campaign really did have an effect on people. People told me they didn't like them, and Northam did run a negative ad, but not as many as Gillespie. And people saw those ads as, you know, like from Trump, or being close to what Trump has been saying. And you know, people really said, "I'm voting against Trump." They told me that word for word.
I know people in our area are looking forward to actually getting back their normal television and all those attack ads going away. Do we know anything, Peggy, about the concession call that Ed Gillespie made at all to Ralph Northam?
You know, Northam mentioned it very briefly. He said it was a very nice call, very pleasant, and that's about all we heard. But I think it went well.
Okay. Peggy Fox out there live for us. We can tell you this, that we just got this announcement that Ralph Northam and his team are going to have a press conference tomorrow in Richmond, very close to the state capitol, where they're going to talk about their priorities. The governor-elect also going to be talking about the transition and what they'll be doing to set up in the meantime. Of course, he'll be assuming the governorship coming up in January.
Moving forward, a lot to do.